So, still in the parking lot for segment 7 of 5 minutes or less. I'm Dave Grindle, and we just had a very, I think, intellectual discussion on true Catholicism, the church as a franchise. I think it might do well to segue into the subject of number 7, which will be law. Now, obviously, law is the thing that we've talked about in the past that's been implemented by a certain group of people to serve their agenda. And it's only the fault of what you would call the masses that a small number of people is able to enforce their personal agendas in the way of law. Now, what law works as in the global community where we are all one would certainly be only the things that no person could deny are intrinsically good or intrinsically bad. Now, the object of law is to limit, by enforcing with consequences, those things that are intrinsically bad. Those things that are intrinsically good sometimes get pulled in as we include a diverse array of subjects being covered when we decide law. Now, it would make sense if you consider the inefficiency of today's government in the United States, as I am most ready to talk about, as opposed to other governments and their set of laws, where the well-being of people's health care or the insurance thereof is tied in with a thoroughly despicable business proposal. And the people that actually read the bills that are proposed to be put against the intellectual peers that they sit with gets destroyed. Because they're saying, oh, well, nobody ever promulgates to 100% of the American population that, oh, we're not going to pass this healthcare bill, or we are not going to socialize medicine, because every time we try to do that and we write up a bid for all people to have everything they need in terms of medical care, that there's a pipeline or or an economic transaction being involved in that people see through and they block it. And you would think, I believe, why wouldn't you just make medical care available for all Americans? Why you wouldn't enforce a ban of homelessness by creating homes for all citizens, plus more than what we need? Why there would be such negative hoopla in all across the media that's penetrating people's personal opinions about immigration and all the immigration law and the process of becoming a citizen that used to be survive the boat ride over here and try to make a life for yourself, is now there are 1,000 checks and balances that limit people from freely crossing to come to America for idealistic or religious freedom and to make a new opportunity for themselves. The same things that our ancestors, the generations that came either so far or recently before us, to start a new life, not just for themselves, but for us by extension. Our law needs to be limiting and imposing consequences for the people that would do violent harm to one another, that would suppress one another. To limit people by saying, if you want to hurt or impose on others, you will be imposed on. You will have your freedoms limited because you limited others' freedom. But there shouldn't be any laws concerning who can and can't get married, who can and can't choose to make the choice of abortion for themselves. Stop tying idealism with constitutionalism, because constitutionalism is meant to enforce everyone to have their personal right and to try to limit those who make policy from bringing in their personal deep-seated beliefs to the question of what another person can and can't do. We know what people should and shouldn't do. Beyond that, it's all just your personal opinion. So let's leave law where it should be.